She wears the badge. She protects her city. She shows up when everyone else runs away. But when she applied for a mortgage, the same system she was protecting treated her like a risk instead of a hero. She had great savings. She had great income. She had a job. Well, the job. She had discipline. But one number messed her up. That was her credit score. It kept her from owning a home, the American dream. And if you ever felt like your credit score is standing between you and your home, let's fix that. Let's talk about it. Your first set of keys, this story, is your roadmap to turn things around just like my client did. I've noticed that over 75% of the viewers who watch this video aren't actually subscribed. So if you could do me one major favor, just hit that subscribe button, please. It gives YouTube, like the algorithms, like, oh my God, people are watching his videos. It's good. Maybe we should push this more, and helps me get more clients, helps me help more families. So I would really appreciate that. Thank you. When she came to me for approval, she was frustrated. She said, Marcelle, I've been on the force for 5 years now. I'm almost at top pay. I saved up money. I pay my bills. How the am I still not qualified?
Big dog, we got a situation here. I'm going to need some backup.
So I said, no worries. We're going to figure it out. Let me see what's going on. I sent her the link to do the application. She did the application. She filled everything. And then here comes the big thing. I'm like, the income's good. Savings good. Let me run the credit score. So when I pulled her credit, I immediately saw the issue. It's the same 3 mistakes I see almost everyone make. Number 1, they maxed out their credit cards from either shopping around for a mortgage, shopping around for a car, or just taking out more credit card debt. And number 3, she closed her oldest credit card account thinking it would help.
God, please, no!
Those 3 moves dropped her score from the high 600s to the low 500s. And now she wants to buy a house. So we're figuring out how are we supposed to turn this around? Now, most lenders at this point, they panic, they freak out. They're like, oh, run away. She's not qualified. Send her somewhere else. And they focus on another client. But not me. I knew her. I wanted to help her. And I do that for all my clients because first responders need someone to help them. We're so used to helping other people that we don't really receive the help. So I'm different. I'm not like those other lenders. We come up with a game plan and figure out how we're going to solve this together. She was like, no, I'm not going to get a house. I didn't realize my score was that bad. And I said, don't worry. Here's what to do. And instead of giving up, she listened to everything I was saying. She was like, all right, tell me exactly what to do, Malcolm. And I did. I said, that's when we started building her game plan, a custom plan, a special roadmap that I do for my clients when they need that TLC, they need that care. We come up with a specific game plan like, hey, I'm the coach, you're the player, let's do it. The game is getting your house. And we came up with a strategy. So we started with the credit utilization. How much of your available credit you're actually using. And even if you never miss a payment, if your balances are near the limit, your credit score is going to take a hit. So we paid each card down below the 30%. I'll call this my 30% rule. Never use more than 30% on your credit card. Ideally, keep them under 10. Within weeks, her score started going like this. Over 40 points came from that one move alone. We just started. Tip number 1, pay down your balances strategically, not just randomly. Start with your smallest balance to first build that momentum, then roll those payments into the next card. And with that rhythm, it starts building early wins, and it builds early wins and keeps you motivated. That's the biggest thing. When you don't see and set little goals for yourself, you get demotivated, and we don't want that to happen to you. So I start with the smallest cards, get those small wins in early, and that same money, you're going to roll it into the next card and the next card. And that's when the choo-choo train starts going. Now, when you see that 40-point jump, you're like, oh, I'm all in. All right. Once we had momentum, I brought in my credit card specialist. Now, that's my secret weapon. John, shout out to you for always helping my clients. So together, we started doing the next step. And we went line by line through her credit report, correcting the things that are outdated, fixing report errors. Like, oh no, there's an error there. Okay, I'll dispute that for you. Like line by line. And we created a 45-day rebuild plan. I think it might have been slightly longer than 45 days. Don't quote me. They even caught an old student loan showing a recently late. Boom, that's how good it was. When you go line by line and you actually have someone who does this for a living, they find stuff that even I missed. Once that was fixed, her credit score, guess what? Jumped again. Be smart about credit pulls. Every time someone checks your credit, your score can dip. But here's the thing. If you're shopping for a mortgage, multiple inquiries within a 30-day counts only as one. You take one hit for it. 30 days. It has to be within 30 days. So do all your comparisons at once, or work with the broker who can ship it out to 100 banks for you, and it's only one pull. You need to protect your score and still get the best deal. That's why working with a broker is so much easier and better. And that's why a lot of people are stopping going to traditional banks, because they know if I go to another bank, I have to get another credit card pull, another credit pull. If I go to that bank, another credit pull, another credit pull. And then before you know it, your score is going to be jacked up, because you might not get to do all that within 30 days. But if you go to a broker, or one like we pull it once and I can send it out to 100 different banks for you on your behalf and figure out who's giving you the best rate. So 6 weeks later, I pulled her score again. It went from like 550-ish to 692. Woo! Hype. Called her. She's on the phone crying. John is laughing like, yo, I told you this is what I do. I'm just like, you came with the winning team. This is one of the benefits when you work with winners. Then I made her the call. I'll never forget it. I called her and I had my deep voice on, trying to sound super professional. You've been approved. That simple. And she really broke down. She was on the phone crying. I was like, I didn't even ask her if she was at work. We ended up buying her. Well, I didn't buy it, but she ended up buying a house in a better neighborhood that was much safer for her and her family. She found a house that fit her family, and it was a sense of pride that no credit score could measure. She was able to buy a house, her first house, first person in her generation to actually do it, in her family to actually do it, to own a home. Most of them were all renting from before that or living with family members. Here's the one quiet mistake that cost people, most people, closing old accounts. That's the same thing that she did, and I want you to know, don't do that. She shut down her very first credit card thinking it would help her score, but her oldest account was one giving her the longest history, and that shortened her credit history, which impacts your score. Keep your old accounts open. Use them for small reoccurring charges, your Netflix, your phone bill, something that you know you're going to immediately pay it back. Or just, if you can't remember it, use it for small charges and then set up the auto pay, not to pay the minimum, just to pay off the entire balance, because you know you're just using it for small charges. So you want to pay them off. I don't want it to start building up, because paying the minimum will keep you in debt forever. And this keeps your credit age strong and shows lenders the consistency they love to see. We reopened her oldest credit card, and that final charge stabilized her score for good. You might be thinking, does a few points really matter? And let me tell you, it does. It matters more than you realize. Those points are the difference between you being approved or not being approved. Those points could be the difference between you going to FHA and paying 3.5% down payment or 10% down payment. Those points matter. And I want you to realize that if you want to buy a house, you have to start focusing on your credit. A stronger score doesn't just unlock better loan terms, it changes how the system sees you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. When you walk into a lender's office knowing you've done the work and you're not hoping to qualify, you're expecting to. You know you will. I have the income, I have money saved, I have good credit. Let's go. I'm ready to get pre-approved. I'm ready to get my house. That's the difference versus you walking in there shaking, not sure. And lenders can smell that. And they know if you have bad credit, maybe they won't take you serious. Maybe they'll try to make you pay more points to get a better rate. And you're paying all these extra fees that you don't need to if you would have just fixed your credit. And that's the mindset shift I want every first responder, blue collar worker to have. Because this isn't about chasing points. It's about building freedom. Freedom for you and your family. So if you're watching this and thinking, my credit's not perfect, that's okay. It doesn't need to be. I don't need it to be perfect. It just needs to be a plan and to make sure you know where it is and where you need to do or what you need to do to get there. You serve your community every day, but nobody's ever given you the playbook for financial stability, freedom, and that's what Keys for Community Heroes is here for. If you want the same 45-day credit plan, the 45-day credit fix game plan that helped an officer, a police officer, raise her score, finally get her approved, go to Keys for Community Heroes, or better yet, just text credit to 631-817-HOME. Once again, 631-817-HOME or 631-817-4663, aka spells home. Because you protect your community, and now it's time your community helps you get the keys you deserve.